Still be there though.
Nick looking down his
Live.
nose at us.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
not sure.
Yes.
Are you looking down your
Yeah.
nose at us, Nick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
John and James.
So the item determining confidential was the lease to the Adelong Services and Citizens Bowling Club for the Caravan Park, Adelong Caravan Park lease agreement. There is 9 recommendations there, of which the main ones are that council enters into a new lease arrangement for Adelong Services and Citizens Club and Bowling Club for the council owned property, 7,053 square metres of council owned freehold land located 11 to 13 Victoria Hill Road, Adelong. The lease be for a period of 5 years with 2 options to extend each for 5 years, and that the annual fee be $15,000 with a 2% annual market increase plus a CPI increase applied at the anniversary of the executed lease agreement each year.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you very
Mayor-
much indeed.
Mr. Mayor, with your indulgence, please, before everybody leaves, and while this is actually still being live streamed, I think that it's really important that as a council, we acknowledge the contribution of 2 of the councillors around the table who are not renominating to stand for the next Snowy Valleys Council. And for me personally, I'd like to extend my thanks and appreciation to yourself as Mayor, and also to Councillor Livermore, who I know that we've all been incredibly grateful for your knowledge, the experience and the expertise that you bring with you, but also the amazing depth of your knowledge of the specific areas in which council is always required to undertake. And I will miss both of you. One of these days, I will actually produce your book of sayings, not as green as I am cabbage looking. Green light's on, the bunny's away, then we could go on and on. But thank you so much to both of you. You will be genuinely missed. Your knowledge will be genuinely missed. And I'm sure that council's lolly budget will improve significantly in the next term.
It'll overflow. I don't know where I'm going to get my sugar from.
I'll find some and send it to you.
Can it just be noted that Councillor Chaffey's been on council for 37 years?
I know.
It's extraordinary. And how long have you been in and
Around.
around local government?
Oh, well, I don't know, would it be somewhere between 25 and 30 years, I suppose?
Yeah.
Being a first-time councillor, I'd just like to say that the amount that I've learned from you two in not just process, but mannerisms and ways to open cans and ways to shake hands with people that probably would throw bricks at you if you didn't, invaluable, and made it much more interesting to have this opportunity to have you guys around. So privileged to be in the room with you two.
Well said.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam.
It's an end of an era,
Suck it up.
and I've been very fortunate. You know, my wife has supported me. My kids have, and they'll tell you about the hours they sat outside the Tumbarumba Council chambers while I spent 5 minutes in there. It's interesting. We just recently came back from a trip to the outback, and we do that every 2 years, and sitting around the campfire at night telling me, not their mother, but me, what a miserable bastard I was, if you pardon the expression, in making them work so hard and do so many things when they came home from school, and putting up with me in my various guises or modes. But as I said to them, why do you still want to go on these trips? So that's been very rewarding. But, you know, it's time to move on. As I said before, I'm 80 years of age. What's the future hold? The future hold is in younger people taking up the reins. The cemetery's full of people we can't do without. I was told that when I was about 16 by an old bloke who'd returned from Tobruk. I'm interested in, based on Peter Teggett's presentation last week, whether a council of any complexion can stay 2 terms focused to the problem. I think there are structural problems associated with the merged council, which I don't believe can be solved. That's not to say you shouldn't try, but I think at the end of the term or the day, you'll find that they are unsolvable. And I personally believe there's only 2 ways forward. One of them is to demerge. The other is administration. And if council goes into administration, the community will really know what pain is, right? There is no question. We've got to find, this organisation's got to find $5 million, and it's got to find it pretty quickly. You're going to cost, your only alternative is to cut costs or raise rates, and that means another special rate variation, and it's not going to be a small special rate variation. I believe that the merger destroyed 2 very viable and successful local government bodies, and in this place it's put what I consider to be a disaster. I wish you well, all those who put their names up for re-election. I certainly wish you well. I think it's been a pleasure to work with you. Taken a little bit of patience sometimes, and the mere fact that Councillor Thompson and I were able to move on from some of our previous exchanges.
Shows our integrity, Chair.
That's right. And I'd particularly like to thank the staff.
Yeah.
I think they've done a wonderful job in what's obviously a trying situation. And I don't mean of recent times only, but I mean the staff of Snowy Valleys Council since the day of merger.
Yep.
It hasn't been one of those environments where you would particularly enjoy coming to work sometimes. They've gone through thick and thin. They've had unusual experiences, some of which they probably wish they never had. But I do appreciate the fact that, particularly in my short time here, the way they've, what would you say, responded to me. I found it quite rewarding, very rewarding actually, and it's made my short tenure here to be one that I'll remember for the rest of my life. But thank you. It's been great.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Well, look, I concur with Ian's comments there, obviously. Yeah, and a big thank you to the staff because, very trying times. Been a lot to take in and a lot to concentrate on. And look, regardless of which way demerger or whatever goes in the future, I certainly wish everyone well. And just while you're getting back to old fellas and words of wisdom, when I was a teenager, about 15, 16, and getting ready to go out into the workforce, my grandfather, or maternal grandfather, I never knew my paternal grandfather, but he was a pretty astute businessman, and he took me aside one day and he said, "Always remember, son, another man's ignorance is his problem." And of course, at that age, I had no idea what he was talking about. But later on, at work and in business and so on, you start dealing with people, and I thought, I get what he was talking about. And I think that's probably held me in good stead to deal with a whole range of people and just keep focused on the job at hand and, not let things get under your skin, basically. But my whole career, as I say, my career in local government's been on both sides of the fence. That's been an interesting balancing act at times. But I look back on it, I don't have any regrets on any of it. So yeah, it was good, met a lot of good people and a lot of interesting people over the years. And I think both as a staff member and then as a councillor, I think we've been involved over the years in different things where we've actually achieved things for the community and, you know, maybe made a few things easier for people along the way, which wasn't always easy to do as a staff member.
Yeah,
But
mate.
anyway, good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just very quickly, I echo Sam's sentiments. I'm a first-time councillor as well, and the depth of knowledge we've got in this room is just immeasurable. But these two guys over here, they have been a beacon for giving me and pointing me in the right direction and getting my train of thought on what I should be thinking about. And I know where you both live, and I will be
Still
seeking
got their
your
phone numbers.
counsel in the future.
well, we'll get together.
Well, if you
now.
get it wrong, we know where you live.
That's it. Thank you.
Well, I would consciously make an attempt not to become involved because you step away, if you wanted to be involved, you should have stayed. So the reality is that, and look,
But if I give you coffee
as
and
I
cake,
said, I
tell me
really appreciated
Especially if you're
the
loyal.
camaraderie around the table here. That's an important part of making sure local government works is, you can have your disagreements, you walk out the door and it's a different situation. Do not carry a grudge with you. It takes you nowhere. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Closing the meeting.
And they'll be
I'll
here.
close the meeting.
They'll be here for another 30